I met this amazing woman on the Nextdoor app and I happened to visit her garden in the backyard. It was lovely. She has a bee and butterfly friendly garden. And she also shared a lot of things that she learned from her mom, like she eats comfrey in her salad, eats gooseberries. That's how I ended up meeting her. So I plan to make a video for a garden tour and also the tips from her mom.
So welcome to my garden. It's just a little backyard. I live in the city, so it's not very big. And I have different plants. Obviously, a lot of people have different herbs, but I have, this one is basil and sage, and there's a little bit of rosemary down there. It's hiding because the basil did way better than the... But then an herb that I have that isn't very common is comfrey. It has a pretty little blossom to it, and it's a little bit hairy, so fuzzy. So sometimes you can stick yourself on here, but it's an herb that is very good for you, and it's also very good for the ground. The roots go down deep, and so the nutrients that it draws up, you can use the leaves as like putting them around your other plants as mulch for your other plants, so that the nutrients go down into the soil. And then this is how I met the two of you, is because of my gooseberry plants. Not this, but there's a few gooseberries left on there. These are quite ripe, and it's kind of an old plant. People from Eastern Europe are quite familiar with it. They like the tartness of it. Here in America, they most often make jelly out of it. So if it's green, it's real tart. Otherwise, the red is sweet.
How old is the shrub?
Well, it got its start because when I grew up, we had a whole row of them in our garden. And when my mom and dad moved, we would always take plants with us. And so I started a plant from theirs. So this is how you start a plant, actually. You just take a young cane like this, and then you bend it down into the soil. And I just used the brick to hold it because I want it to root. And so then it will start another plant. It loves the full sunshine. And yeah, so in July is usually when the berries are ready. And just my other flowers. These are irises. They bloom in the spring. The peonies bloom in the spring. And this is the clematis.
Yeah, what is this plant?
This is an asparagus plant. It's gone to seed. So it's in the spring that you get to harvest the canes, and then, or the stalks, I should say. And this is where it has little seeds. They will turn a real dark red, and you can plant them. Usually when you buy asparagus roots, they're already 3 years old because it just takes a while for them to develop. So I planted a whole row across the back behind my flowers. And then I have oregano that is very happy. It is huge, and the bees love it. So you probably will even catch some bees on there.
A bumblebee is there.
Yeah. And my daisies grow wild. I just kind of let them go. This is thyme.
Okay.
And that's another herb. So I have lots of herbs, but what I like to do is when I make salads, I'll just come out, grab some herbs and throw them in the salad, and it gives a nice little surprise pop of flavor in there. And then this big plant is horseradish. You use the root. It's hard to dig. So if horseradish is expensive, that's why. It's a lot of work. And then these are called walking onions because they come up by themselves every year. If you just throw this on the ground, it will seed and it grows more. So you don't have to plant them every year. So I'll show you some little baby asparagus. Of course, this is rhubarb. Almost everybody in Minnesota has rhubarb. That's another great thing for pies and desserts. But here's, I planted some.
Oh, nice.
I planted some asparagus this spring. So this is just the little babies. That are,
Awesome.
and the little plant that's back here was the purslane. This is the one that you were able to taste
Oh, yeah.
before. I didn't harvest it because I wanted to show you. So if you just take the little tips, they actually have a lot of flavor in them, and you can use them like in a cucumber salad. Maybe add a little vinegar to the for the dressing. But there you go. Just eat it. Because I have cats that like catnip.
You have to dry them, yes?
Yes.
Okay. They love it, yeah? What
Yes,
they do
they do.
with this? My friend is growing this indoor.
Well, the cats, they just like rub on it. It gives them like energy. Like, you know how dogs get zoomies?
Okay.
Catnips gives cats zoomies.
Okay.
So
We don't do anything with this.
I don't eat it.
Oh,
No,
okay, okay.
no. And there's one mint in the mint family. There's called cat mint, which is often used here as a perennial,
Okay.
and it gets nice big round. It has pretty little flowers. So,
Did you see, Kama, they have added eggshells?
Yeah.
and you see all my garbage in there.
No, that's like to increase the fertility
do
of
that
soil.
too.
It
We-
is.
we do
yeah,
that too.
Yeah, yeah. We just threw out.
So
some
you
cabbage.
got your rainwater harvesting?
Yep. The rain barrel, so you just, it's super easy. It has a little hole in the top to let the water in, but it keeps the bugs out or any other animals, so you know things don't drown in there or mosquitoes don't breed.
The way we. Oh, okay. Because of this mesh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can just buy this mesh from.
That's how they come.
Oh, you buy this as
Yep.
rainwater harvesting can?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
It's called a rain barrel.
A rain barrel. Okay.
Yep. And so then when you wanna, it's got 2 spigots
Okay.
typically, so this is what we most often use, but we have it up on blocks so
Okay.
that one can be usable too, because when you want to drain it.
Okay.
And so like in the fall, I take in 5-gallon buckets of water, and then I water my house plants with it.
Okay.
Because that's better than using the tap
Yeah.
water.
Exactly, I've heard that. We want this at our home too.
In a little town, and we had a huge garden, and then my mom exposed us to all kinds of different vegetables. Have you ever had Jerusalem artichokes?
No.
No. So we had those. It's actually the tuber in the ground, because with the artichokes that you buy at the store, typically it's the green globe,
Exactly.
and you eat the leaves.
Uh-huh.
But Jerusalem artichokes, you can buy them at the farmer's market this time of year.
Okay.
Sometimes they're called sunchokes.
Sunchokes.
Okay.
You could, and they've been used in restaurants and salads too. They just have like a not a peppery flavor, but it has a nice crisp, it's just really nice for a salad. Just nice texture, crisp texture.
I think that's the way to live, to have diversity in your food.
I love it.
That's the that's the whole philosophy, to have diversity in the food. I think that's the healthier way to live.
Well, when you have the variety, it's like our tongues were made with so many different
Flavor.
the sensors to
Yeah.
taste it. Yeah, I mean, it's like you can, if everything just tasted like rice is good, but we
but-
like other things.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and then my flowers just kind of get mixed in with everything else. It's a little bit of a wild garden.
That's what bees love.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Bees and all the.
So I have 2 compost bins.
In 2019.
It's like I will put I put leaves in the soil, like
Soil cover.
well that, and I dig it in there. I'll just cover it over,
Okay.
and so then the soil really loves it. It's really good. It's soft soil. It's not stuff grows really easy.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, and that's my garden. There you go.
Unique thing in